Yo, what's good, everybody, and thank you for tuning in to another Tyler Perry Sistas review. If this is your first time coming to my channel, welcome. If you are a returning family member, then you already know what it is and what it always will be. Be sure to like, comment, share, subscribe. Tell somebody to tell somebody if you choose to. But if not, just sit back, relax while we get into this thing. Now, this is the synopsis for season 9, episode 4, entitled One is the Loneliest Number. And the synopsis reads, despite best efforts, Karen refuses any kind of comforting company while the rest of the sisters confront their own individual problems as they all rear their ugly heads again. So I'm going to start with the second phase of this synopsis where we're dealing with the sisters are in a position where they have to confront their own individual problems because everything is starting to rear their heads again. All I'm going to say... All I'm going to say is, baby, the writers, y'all got to do something different with Sabrina. Because what problems does she have? Now, I do understand that sis is trying to become a mother. She believes that it's her purpose. So she wants to have a baby and she's going through the proper steps in order to make that happen. I don't necessarily believe that that is a problem. The only problem in her life at this moment is Rich. And that's because, in my opinion, she continues to welcome him into her life. Because if you've broken up with him, if you have completely separated yourself, you're done with him, I don't understand what other problems that there could be at this moment. And the reason why I'm saying Rich is because it says they begin to rear their ugly heads again. So what I'm believing is these are problems that have already existed and they're continuing to exist because they haven't been dealt with properly. When it comes to the character of Danny, we know that Tony... We don't know if he's going to Alaska. We don't really know what's going on with that. So I can see maybe there being some conclusion, some resolution coming to that particular issue. And honestly, I don't care. Tony, you can leave. We got too much going on with sisters right now to be concerned whether or not you're going to be freezing in Alaska or you're going to be hot in Atlanta. Dude, pick one. You either going to be employed or unemployed. You're going to have a job, not have a job, making money, not making money. It's totally up to you. Danny has already said that Tony ain't touching that 75,000. Okay, you ain't getting a penny of that. So, bro, I'm gonna need you to do what's best for you and your children. All right, and stop thinking about the sex that you're gonna be missing from Danny. I guarantee you can get it someplace else. Okay, and probably better. Let's mature a little bit. Okay, let's just mature a little bit. Tony, just go about your way, bro. The only people, honestly, in my opinion, excluding Karen, that is going through some problems right now is Fatima and Andy. And I'm going to start with Fatima. Fatima has been in a truly traumatic situation with Karen. She has been there from the very beginning since her water broke up until now. She has not left the hospital. She has been there, stood 10 toes flat with Karen throughout this entire process. Fatima is also pregnant as well, and I believe that a lot of people forget that. Fatima is also pregnant. I do wish that the writers would have made like little points to acknowledge that. Nothing major, but just that Fatima is pregnant. This is a traumatic situation. It is a highly stressful situation. So maybe she's, nauseated for a little moment, maybe a little dizzy, maybe a little this, because I don't believe she's drinking water. She could be dehydrated. I just wish there would have been more of a highlight to show that Fatima is also with a child as well while she is experiencing the ebbs and flows of Karen's, situation at the hospital. When we think about the character of Andy, Andy has been through a lot. And I'm not going to hold y'all. Andy is a character has dealt with a lot of stuff since the beginning of Sisters. But just within the last 36 hours, this woman has been a witness to a murder. She almost got herself. She had to go to the police department, give a statement on what she witnessed. She goes home. She's afraid to be there. She needs Zach to, make sure the coast is clear, even though we really only saw him go into her bedroom and come out. You're in a penthouse. But I'm not even going to get on y'all with that. I'm going to let y'all have that because y'all putting us already through an emotional situation. So I'm going to let y'all have that. So when I think about who is really going through some issues right now, like I stated, excluding Karen, I'm going to give it to Fatima and I'm going to give it to Andy because they have really gone through something, especially for Fatima to endure this while she is indeed, pregnant. Early on in her pregnancy, but yet still pregnant. So the first part of this synopsis talk about, despite best efforts, Karen, refuses any comforting company. And I understand what she's going through, and it has to be a conflicting position because you've experienced a certain loss, and of course your friends and your family want to be there for you. They want to make sure that you know that you are loved, that you are being lifted in prayer, that you are surrounded, by gentleness and compassion. And then there's another, and that, and then there's another side of you that just feels alone. You feel empty because out of all the friends, you look at their faces, who can you talk to about this? Who can honestly know the pain that you're in this moment? So again, I believe the first half of this season, we are really going to go through a just an emotionally triggering and emotionally charged journey of Karen dealing with what has happened at the hospital, what has happened during her childbirth journey. And we're going to see, I'm sure, friends and family step in and her lashing out. I'm sure this is not going to be the first and last time that she lashes out at someone. And none of them deserve it. I'm just going into it with that. None of them deserve whatever she may lash out on them about. But I believe that as a friend, you do have a certain level of sympathy and compassion for what your friend is enduring, because it's not over. And I always think about, when you have someone close to you who passes away, and then you have people call you, people, make their appearance, they come and check on you. And then once the funeral happened and everybody leaves and you walk into an empty house, all you are met with is silence. And it's like, that's the time that you need people to be there and talk to you. And sometimes you just feel so isolated. You feel so alone. And a lot of times people don't know what to say. People don't know how I can comfort this person. They just don't know. And you don't know either. And it's just a weird place and predicament to be in. And my only hope, which will continue to be my hope, is that the writers are true to this story, that the writers are vulnerable and honest with this story, and they just give it the care that it actually needs for everybody involved. That's just my hope. I don't know. Because y'all know what I always say, I don't trust these writers. As far as I could throw them, I don't trust them. But I do hope and pray, because we're dealing with such a heavy topic, that we actually see this woman go to therapy, some type of grief therapy, that we're able to see not only her, because they love putting the men in therapy. They love getting the men help. They tried us with putting Danny in therapy because she played in that lady face. And to me, that just wasn't what I was thinking about, her actually being in therapy and this journey of getting better. So I do hope that is introduced into the storyline somewhere in season 9, but you just never know. But that is a synopsis for season 9, episode 4 of Sistas, entitled "One is the Loneliest Number." Until next time, I will holler at y'all later, and y'all be safe out there.